First, I want to say hi to all you hooligans out there. This is for you guys, and I just want to say how much I absolutely love you guys, and you've been helpful to me. Gives me a chance to teach, which is my greatest passion. And so I thought I'd make this video to help out anybody that's maybe having a little bit of problems. So what I do is not so much really different than what Matthew is teaching. I just have a different spin on it. So what I do is just all day, right? I just know, I just notice what's obvious, which is I'm the one that listens to my thoughts. But do they need my attention? No, not really. Not unless I want to entertain them. And at this point, for me, most of my thoughts are for entertainment purposes only, which is great. But I know what it's like to struggle with trying to understand what enlightenment is. How do I get there? You know, oh my God, how do I get there is like the biggest problem that we create for ourselves, because we think there's someplace to go or something to get. But that itself is what Matthew's calling the drunk monkey. So all I want to point to today is, if you can hear that thought, right, that's your enlightenment. Right? The part of you that listens to your mind is the quiet mind. Okay? So, just for clarity, the drunk monkey, as it's being called, or the ego, whatever, will never, ever, 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 ever shut up. Never. Right? So you're not looking for a completely quiet mind where you never hear talking in your head. That's not going to happen. If you're looking for that, don't bother. Right? All you're doing is moving your attention from thought to what hears it. Okay? So just take a minute, right, and notice that you can move your attention anywhere. If I asked you to, could you not put your attention to your big toe? Try it. And as you do that, can you notice how everything else kind of fades from your awareness, and that kind of is more enhanced, right? The experience of what your toe feels like. Yeah, it is. Okay, so we're going to use the same idea for your thoughts, especially the ones that give you problems initially. Pretty soon we're going to do with them all, right? Or most of them, you know? But a couple of things I want to say is that the mind, the talking chatter monkey, right? You don't want that to be still, because it's a function. Just like your heartbeat, your eyes, sense of touch, right? You don't want that to stop. So don't get caught up in the idea that your mind should be quiet, right? The quiet part is the part that listens, and that's what you're going to pay attention to. And as you do, you'll notice that inner peace that you're looking for is available right now. You can have right now, always. And it's never not been available. We just never paid any attention to it. So all your five senses, sight, hearing, speaking, listening, all of that is all outward bound, right? When you touch something, you're touching something that to us feels like it's something outside. But, and I haven't gotten to this point quite yet, but I do know for sure, well, conceptually for sure, right? Then when I touch something, like, you know, anything, right? I'm not touching something that's really outside of me, What I'm doing is becoming aware of the sensation of touch, right? A feeling. That happens within me. But if the mind interprets it as something outside. And that's a work in progress for me. Okay, so if you don't get that part, don't worry about it, right? It'll come. This is all a work in progress. So don't be in a hurry. Just, even if you have to sit down and formally meditate, right? And listen to your, watch your thoughts. Just watch them. And just like a car, they'll come and they'll go. And you know that already, right? Have you ever had, a thought that didn't leave? It comes and it goes. But what I've noticed, especially in meditation, is when I sit, I cannot make my mind go silent completely. But what I can notice is, there's a peaceful feeling here. What's that? And then you can move your attention towards it, right? So even your attention is outward bound. Don't believe me. I want you to check. I don't want you to believe anything I say. I want you to test this, right? Can you make your attention go back on itself? Just give that a try, right? Because I did that at a campfire a couple years ago. And it was amazing that I could not, right? It's not possible. The best that I could do was to create, in my imagination, a beam of attention, right? Like a light. And kind of see if I couldn't trace it back to myself. And that was really helpful because that created a sensation for me of that quiet mind. But it didn't stay, right? But it was a confirmation that, there's something here besides thought, feeling, emotion, all that stuff, right? Besides experience, right? There's the awareness, my favorite word, awareness of it. Because what enlightenment and the search for it asks of us is just to be aware. That's all it is, right? So the name for God is, to me, just another name for awareness. And there's no doubt about it that God's aware of everything. But, right, He doesn't get caught up in a thought system. We do. That's what makes this world crazy. Because we'd rather be right than happy or peaceful, right? And that's part of that thought system of the drunk monkey or the ego. So I'm going to flip terms because I'm used to saying ego, but I'll try to use drunk monkey. So the call for God is just a call to become aware, because that's who you are. How can you experience anything unless you're aware of it? You can't. It's impossible. Again, don't believe me. Try it. See if you cannot be aware of your experience. Good luck with that one. Okay? So it's just a shift of attention. And the more you put your attention and practice putting your attention on being aware, I'm aware of this thought. It's not happening to me. It's happening in my awareness. That's a recontextualization that is true. Because if you sit in meditation, you cannot stop your thoughts. I'm not the thinker, and neither are you. Right? So how can these thoughts have really anything to do with you? And if you look, right, if you sit in meditation and try to use your attention to find this thing called you, or if I try to find this thing called me, you'll never find it, right? because I have a body. So if I have something, it's obviously not me. I have a thought. Well, how can you be something that you have? Right? So if you try to find your awareness, you know it's here, but you can't find that either. Right? Try it. I really want to invite you not to believe me, but to test this. Right? And that's what Matthew's asking you to do. Don't believe me. Test it. And the more I heard people say, I mean, that was really helpful for me. And what pushed me over the edge, don't believe me, test it. And so that's another thing that enlightenment, be with your experience. Don't try to have my experience. Don't try to have Matthew's experience or anybody else. Yeah, that's why it was really helpful when people say, just do you, bud. And it's like, yeah, I can't do anybody else, right? I can't tell you how to have your experience, right? I can't tell anybody how to have their experience, right? I can be helpful in in showing you how to have a better experience, but that's your choice, right? And I got nothing to do with that because it's your choice. So if you want to have a better experience, that's also your choice, where you put your attention. So if you put it on, oh, this is happening, a recontextualization. Oh, this isn't happening to me. It's happening within me, within my awareness. I am awareness. I am aware. And then what happens, that spiritual growth that people talk about will start to happen because that awareness, because you're giving it your attention, you'll start becoming aware of things that weren't in your awareness before, thoughts, behaviors, and stuff, because you're sitting in a different seat. You're not sitting in your mind, you're sitting in awareness. You took a step back and just started looking at things. So the more observant you become to your behavior, your thoughts, your anxieties, and all that, right? The more you just pay attention to it and not get caught up at it, but look at it, right, with your attention. And not get caught up in about, oh my God, that's terrible. Because that too, that's junk monkey, right? So you want to move your attention away from that. What is this awareness, right? Just keep working with that. It's not really that hard. What makes it hard is that drunk monkey that's fighting you. Because it fought me for a long time. So I get it, and my heart goes out to you because I know what that's like. I had my mystical experience, what I call getting Godsmacked in 2012. This is 2019, and we're halfway through it, and I finally, this is what God showed me. Awareness. There was no Rick. There was no separation. All of that is a construct of the drunk monkey. All of it. All of it, all of it, all of it. And it does not need, it wants your attention. And it's hijacked it. And now you're going to start to withdraw that attention and become aware. And as the more you become aware, the more enlightened you'll become. You'll see things that you didn't see before. And the more you start to identify with awareness, woo, buddy, joy, happiness, peace, it's all there, right? So when I say, happiness and peace is within you, this is all it is. It's nothing complicated. And I can say that now, but 6 months ago, I was going like, how do you do this? Right? Hello, drunk monkey. Right? So if you're doing that, just say, anytime you hear yourself, how do I do this? How do I become enlightened? How do I do anything? Right? That's the drunk monkey trying to distract you from finding the awareness that you already are. That's it. It's really that simple. So love you guys, and I hope this has been helpful, because that's my greatest joy, is being able to help other people become happy. Not in a thought, because that has never worked, and it never will. You can have some happy thoughts, there's no doubt about that. I'm not saying that, right? But when you sit in the seat of awareness, it doesn't matter really if you have a happy thought or a sad thought, or somebody else is calling you a whatever they want to call you, right? You can just look at them like, I hear you, drunk monkey. Thanks, but I'm not interested. And you can just smile and love them anyway. That is so cool. I love it. All right, guys. Peace. Love y'all. Bye.